Hi friends, my name is William and for the last 10 years I'm working as a tour guide and I really love my job. I started as a guide of one city, only a few hours journey, and now I'm guiding in 5 states. Unfortunately, in our days, I cannot continue working as a guide because of situation in the world, and with my friend and colleague Daniel, we thought what we can make, and the best result we decide to make video guidance through the Lithuanian channels. We have many of those here, and I hope being at home you can watch those videos that we shoot for you and imagine that you travel online. Thank you.
Hello friends! It's been a long time since we were thinking of making our video blog of guides presenting their countries, places they work in, places they guide in, places they love. So and now it's a perfect opportunity. Everybody is at home, there is no tourism in the real world, so as my friend and colleague William told, we will bring it to you through YouTube channel. So we are at the beginning of our big project to go to the shtetls, towns, cities, and to shoot interesting content for you. So join, subscribe to our channel and join our journeys. Thanks a lot. On a central square, and if you see the pavement, it's very old cobblestones. It's quite a rare thing in Lithuania that you can still see the real cobblestones of the central market square. Try to imagine here a lot of people trading and selling and buying, and of course a lot of them were Jews. So the town of Zhasliai was first time mentioned in early 15th century. by one of the Lithuanian dukes who gave a certain status to the settlement, and later on a big church, which we will see later on, was built here. The first Jews were privileged to settle here in the 16th century. So here in the shtetl of Zhasliai we can see, we will see later, a cemetery, two synagogues which were of course rebuilt, but we can still see the original buildings, and a lot of Jewish houses. And if you look around, you can see a lot of houses which belonged to Jewish merchants. For example, that house with the red inscription on it, today it's a restaurant, and it used to belong to a Jewish family of Mintzas, or Mints in our tradition. If you look here, here is a yellow brick building. It was a small manufacturer of textiles, also belonged to a Jewish family. Thing about the market square is that a lot of houses around it belong to the Jews. How we can know which of them belong to the Jews? Jews were the first ones to start the tradition of having their houses with the entrance from the central square, as they most of them were merchants, and they needed to bring people into their little shops, so they had the entrances from the central square. While Lithuanian people, who mostly were farmers, they had their entrances to their houses from the backyard, where they would keep their animals or grow something or whatever. So this is this tradition, or this thing we will see in many other shtetls.
Look at this street, Bajnica Street, we're turning, and our way now is to the synagogues.
So I'm holding a book, Synagogues in Lithuania, 2 volumes. This is the second one. So in here we have information about these 2 former synagogues. So a synagogue in Zhasliai was first time mentioned in 1782, and it was first a wooden building, and later on 2 more synagogues were built. So one of them was Hasidic Beit Midrash, and another one was the synagogue of Misnagdim, or opponents. William, you know which one is which?
I believe that from our left side is a Hasidic one.
The Hasidic
from the right
one?
Side is
Yeah. So it's also very common in Lithuania that 2 or more synagogues were in one place, which would make a synagogue courtyard, or Schulhof, as they used to say in Yiddish. So the third building, which is very close here, is a former, or actually, and also a current fireman fire station. So this renovated building.
Fireman Brigade was a Jewish people, because the center of the neighborhood was mainly a Jewish owned, and the fires was very common in those days. So the Jewish people tried to keep the fireman brigade in their own hands.
We can assume that people who lived around the 2 synagogues, naturally, this was a Jewish part of the village. And we can see some wooden houses. Now, next to the former Beit Midrash, you can see people are cutting wood for furnaces, for heating their houses. So this is one of the great advantages of traveling in Lithuania, is that you can see a lot of the very authentic views and also old houses. Yes, the house was painted, but you can clearly see that it's a very old house. Many of the cemeteries were badly destroyed and desecrated. Local authorities decided to put stones to mark the places. So it didn't matter. There are stones where there were no stones at all. So they put stones. It's very hard to see, but I know that the inscription says that here was an old Jewish cemetery. Cemetery, we can see two types of stones. This is the polished one with an inscription, is a newer one. This one is also a newer one. But over there you can see a lot of smaller ones which look like rocks, like simple rocks with a very simple inscription. So usually the poorer people or the older tombstones were smaller ones. So here, for example, we can see the inscription. Okay, it was Ita Pat Reb Tarshish. Very interesting. Pat Reb Avraham Yehuda Niftera Bechet Tammuz Shnat Tafresh Tzadidalet. It happened in 1934. A woman whose name was Ita. This is her tombstone. A lot of broken ones, only the concrete foundation and no stone, no headstone. So approximately between 150 and 200 tombstones are here on the cemetery.
When vloggers are tired, what they do? They eat.
In the old days, sidewalks in Zhasliai were very narrow. So as you can see here, from the step to the road is maybe 1 meter. So, and women used to put their chair and used to sit here and have a pleasure by looking on how people walk through the streets. And try to imagine, if I sit here, you can't pass, yeah? So, and it was interfering with the life of Zhasliai citizens. And the policemen used to give fines to the...
In Zhasliai, don't forget to visit the local church, and in a few minutes you will understand why it's so important to visit this place. So we have here a chapel dedicated for the number of priests that serve in this area. So here we have a grave of very important, extraordinary person, Zhitkauskas. As you may see here, this medal for the righteous among the nation. Zhitkauskas was recognized as the righteous among the nation. He rescued people, Jewish people during the Holocaust, and one of those people was world famous painter Samuel Back. Another video, we're gonna describe a story of rescuing those people.
Litviša jarmalkė.
So we came to pay our respect to the victims of the Holocaust. Unfortunately, Lithuanian history was so related to this site, and many shtetls end up in such places in the forest. So here we have a mass grave of the Jews that had been murdered by the Nazis and their local accomplices right here in this forest, where the Jews of three shtetls, Zhezhmir, Zhasliai, and Kashidor, and we come to light a candle for those victims, because we know that we never forget and never forgive.
Next to this place, a Lithuanian folk artist, a wood carver, made 3 statues. And one day somebody burned them. There is a movie done about the sculptor and the wooden statues, which you can't see now. We will share it to you. You can find the link in the details and comments of this video.
Free candles for free shtetls. Am Israel Chai.